Hi, I'm Stewart.
And I'm Paul.
And we're here for a new episode of Slice of Horror, and this week we're reviewing Awaiting.
Morris is a recluse with psychotic tendencies, whose life changes when his innocent daughter Lauren rescues one of his victims and befriends him. Jake, an ordinary businessman, soon realises that he is stranded, and his presence in the house gradually reveals unexpected and dark mysteries from the past.
You've only got yourself to blame, Jake.
So, Paul, what did you think of Awaiting?
I really enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
Very suspenseful, very much a slow burner that kind of draws you in, but it's creepy throughout and painful throughout.
Yeah, I really like this film. That's kind of spoiling the conclusion of this review. But I would recommend it. It's isolated. It's got that British horror film feel. Set out in the woods somewhere, where people go missing, and the cast just works so well, the location works so well. It's one of those things where everything kind of came together to make a really unique, creepy horror film.
Daddy, what if he doesn't like me?
Where am I? Who are you?
Daddy, what's going to happen to Jake?
I'll take him to the hospital in the morning.
Really?
What else would I do?
Take me with you! Fire! For me, the trio itself of Jake, Lauren and Morris, the characters and the actors that played them elevated it more than the individual actors themselves and the individual characters. It was the interrelationships. So you've got a daughter and the father relationship, a newcomer to the situation. This almost kind of awakening in the daughter that comes about from the Jake character, which obviously isn't necessarily horror-led, but it grounds it in a reality and gives you a backstory to the female character as well, which I really enjoyed and liked. And the whole of, well, every single interaction is dripped in tension, and you can feel the subtext within every interaction, which was really something quite special, to be honest.
That is what kept me going, because it is a very slow-paced film to start off with. And you kind of, you know there's twists coming, but you kind of figure them out already. But once you get into it, and the scenes where there's so much tension between Morris and his captor and the daughter character as well, you're just like, oh my God, it's that type of film where you're like, just go for the door now, go for the door. But you know he can't, and you know, you're like, how would I act in that situation with Morris? Because Morris is such a good character, and the casting was so good that you're just kind of like, he's one of those, I don't know what I would have done in that situation.
Well, I think the justifications of why Jake, the captive character, I suppose, can't leave makes perfect sense. There's so many horror films out there where you're just like, just run.
Why are you mad at me?
Because I don't want to be here! Poisons you against me. Don't you see? Under my roof you'll show some manners. You're at my table now.
So I really liked the gore in the film. There's one scene in particular with an amputation which is just brutal. And it's in a way that I've not really seen before in a film. That was just amazing to watch. And just kind of like, it did make me cringe quite a bit.
It felt so real. And not in, I don't know, not in just gore for gore's sake point of view. It comes at a very, the kind of correct place to put it within the film. It's horrible.
It's great, but what puzzled me is like, the film isn't an outright kind of gory film.
No.
Because there are moments early on in the film where someone, for example, gets their stomach cut open and you see a glimpse of the guts pouring out, but then it cuts away from it. And it felt like, I was like, no, it feels like it should show that. And I was like, oh, maybe.
Though.
No, but I was kind of like, oh, maybe this isn't a film that maybe they're trying to keep the rating down. But then later on they go insane with it.
I won't let him.
He's not going to take a vote on it.
What did I ever do to make you want to run away?
How could you do that?
It's the only way to protect you. You're too young to understand.
So, what didn't we like about the film? I mean, me personally, I felt, although I liked the film, I wish it went crazier. Because Morris, the main character, is insane. As you slowly find out, he gets crazier and crazier in the layers of his insanity. But I wish it went all the way, because there's moments where they're sat at the dinner table and his daughter dresses up as his deceased wife.
Yeah.
And that could have been super crazy, but they only play it for like, I don't know, a minute. And then it's like, oh, that was a bit weird. But like, they could have really, I wanted them to go full wacko with it. It was creepy and I really liked that, but they would, like, I felt they were afraid to go all the way with it. But I don't know, really.
I can kind of agree with that. It maybe played it safe in some areas, but certainly the end does not play it safe.
Yes.
And maybe that's where this film, like what you say, it feels like it needs that a bit earlier on.
Yeah.
Because, don't get me wrong, the ending was brilliant and sticks with you as an ending.
Yeah.
But it does seem to come out a little bit left field.
Yeah.
Which again, I did kind of partly like, because you sat there going, whoa, didn't expect this film to go there. But you're right, it could have preempted that a little bit earlier, I think.
I'm going to take you with me. After everything I did for you, this is how you repay me. You've only got yourself to blame, Jay.
So for me, and I think I can speak for you as well, we really enjoyed this film. It was strong throughout. The main things for me personally was that interconnection between those three characters and the relationships, how that builds, and more importantly, the subtext behind it was just so interesting to watch.
It's for me, it's a fantastic British thriller / horror film. Great cast, great location, the feeling of isolation, desolation out there in the middle of nowhere. And Tony Curran's Yorkshire accent is like amazing. He's like a really Scottish guy. It was fantastic, so definite watch from us.
Yeah.